So good morning from the Elite Athletes Hotel at the 2021 Virgin Money London Marathon, and welcome to our first press conference with our elite men. Today we welcome and we're delighted to see back our defending champion Shura Kitata of Ethiopia. To his right, we are delighted also to have Birhanu Legese from Ethiopia, the two-time Tokyo champion and the third fastest man in history. And completing our top table, we have Evans Chebet from Kenya, who was the fastest marathon runner in the world for 2020. So we also are delighted to have Abdi with us, who will be translating for Shura and Birhanu. And before we begin, can we please mention through housekeeping notes? Please, those online, submit your questions through the Zoom chat, and then I will call on the media to ask questions to our athletes. Please keep your cameras on throughout and your microphones off, and then please turn them on when you are called to ask your questions. We also have media in the room that will also be asking our questions to our top table. So thank you very much. First, I'll start with some questions to our athletes. Shura, welcome back to London. How have your preparations gone for this year's race?
እዚህ ዓመቱ ውድድር ምን ያህል ተዘጋጅተሃል?
እንኳን ደህና ቆየ። እናመሰግናለን። ውድድር አሁን እያዘጋጀ ነው፣ ግን እግሩ አመመኝ ነው። ውድድር ያዘጋጃለሁ በፊት ነው። አሁን ግን እግሩ አመመኝ ነው። ስላመመ ይሞክራለሁ ውድድርን።
Well, stay for me, and I just come to here. I have some problems, leg problems, but still I'm preparing to win. Looking forward to win that.
Great. We hope those leg problems are no problems on Sunday with a sprint finish like last year. Birhanu, a question to you. You have not raced yet in 2021. How have your preparations gone for Sunday?
እስካሁን በ2021 ማራቶን አልሮጥክምና ለእሁዱ ሩጫ ምን ያህል ተዘጋጅተሃል? እንዴት ነው ያንተ የዝግጅት ምን ይመስላል?
በጣም አመሰግናለሁ። እኔ እዚህ ለንደን የመጣው የመጀመሪያ ጊዜ ነው። በጣም ደስ ብሎኛል። አቀባበሉ ምን ወርጋዘሩ በጣም አመሰግናለሁ። ግን የ2021 አሁን የሰንዴ የሚያካሂዱ ውድድር ሰርቻለሁ፣ ተዘጋጅቻለሁ። ከእግዚአብሔር ጋር ጥሩ ውጤት አመጣለሁ ብዬ አስባለሁ።
Okay. Birhanu said, thank you very much for the hospitality and the reception of his here, because this is the first time he came to this country for this race, and he's very happy to about the whole situation, including the people who are around here, and he's prepared to win. He's prepared very well, and he's looking forward to win the race.
So that's great to hear that he's enjoyed the hospitality here and he's been well looked after, and there's a few more days to be looked after before Sunday's race. So we're delighted to make the start line of London for the first time. Evans Chebet. Evans, you had a fantastic race last year in Valencia where you ran that 2:03 clock in. How much confidence does that give you going into your next marathon?
I need the mic. Yeah. Sasa Evans, nauliza mwaka jana ulikimbia 2:03. Na unajisikiaje sasa hivi? Imekusaidia kujua unaweza kushinda London?
Nashukuru Mungu. Last year nikimbia Valencia Marathon. Nilikuwa nang'ang'ania time sana. Kwa sababu nilikuwa na top athletes kama Legese, Lawrence Cherono. Hao ndio ilinifanya nikimbia time. Ndio kama sikekuwa na time, no, sikekuwa nimeselectiwa nikuja London. Hiyo ndio ilinifanya sana ning'ang'ane. Ndio nikimbia top majors marathon. Asante.
So, if I understood correctly, Evans running in Valencia, as you ran for time and you performed well, you're really happy with that, and Valencia has opened for you the door has created opportunities for you to run in World Marathon Majors because of the result you had in Valencia. And it also, I think, what I'm feeling it in myself, gives you confidence for this race.
That's great to hear. We hope that 203 has given you confidence. Obviously, Kenya has a rich tradition at the London Marathon, so we hope that continues on Sunday. Now we're opening it up for questions. Some members of our media are here in the room with us, so we'll ask them to go first before we go on to the Zoom questions. So I think we can start with Tim from Athletics Weekly. So the question is, you have obviously past history on the course, you have some experience, slightly different course last year, but does that bring pressure going into this year's race as the defending champion?
ጥሩ ልምድ አለህ አሸንፈሃልም ታውቀዋለህ የሬሱን ሁኔታ በሙሉ Did you say there is a difference this year? Did you say there is a difference? Yeah. ኮርስ ልዩነት ይኖራል በዚህ አመት ምን ያህል ፕሬሸር ያመጣብሃል በሱ እና ለሁድ ያለህ ዝግጅት ምንድነው ያን በተመለከተ የሚል ነው
ለሁድ ዝግጅት እንደገና ምናልባት ጥሩ ልምድ አለህ በለንደን ማራቶን ጥሩ ታሪክ አለህ አሸንፈሃልም ውድድሩን በደም ታውቀዋለህ ከዚህ የዘንድሮ ውድድር ከባለፈው አመት ይለያል ኮርስ የሚትሄዱበት መንገድ ያመጣብህ ለውጥ አለ ወይ ተጽኖ ያሳድሮ ባህሉ በሳቤ ደረጃ ማለት ነው በፊት እኔ ትሬኒንግ በጣም ሰርቼ ነው የኦሎምፒክ በፊት ልክ ኦሎምፒክ ሁለት ሳምንት ስደርስ እግሬ በአርምስትሪንግ አመመኝ ነው እግሩ ስለዚህ ትሬኒንግ ለብቻ ሰርተናል እኔ ዛጋው ኢትዮጵያ ለብቻ ሰርተናል ስለ እግር አመመኝ ነው ግን እዚህ ጋር ከመጣ ውድድር ላይ ውጤት ያስመጣል መጥቼ ነው ስለዚህ ዝግጅት ብዙ ጥሩ አይደለም ግን መካከለኛ ነው ስለ እግር አመመኝ ነው
ለውጥ አምጥቶ ባህል አሳስበዋል ወይስ ችግር አይመጣም እሱ
ያ ችግር አይመጣም ኮርስ በጣም
He was prepared very well before Olympics and just 2 weeks before he had hamstring injury and that was a big pressure for him otherwise he's prepared well and he's feeling now still he's comfortable to run on Sunday so the course change doesn't make difference to him
So saying that his hamstring is 100% now and he's obviously confident the bit of the course he probably knows the best is that sprint finish so does that hopefully take off some of the pressure for Sunday
ለሁድ ያለህ ዝግጅት የሃምስትሪንግህ ሙሉ በሙሉ ተሽሎሃል አሁንና እንደባለፈው አይነት በፍጥነት የመጨረሻውን ለመጨረስ ዝግጁ ነህ ወይ ለዛ ሌሎችን ለማስደነቅ የሚል ነው ጥያቄው
ሃምስትሪንግ ከባድ ነው ስፒድ ላይ በጣም ይከብዳል ስፒድ ላይ አሁን ግን ብዙ ስፒድ ካለው ሃምስትሪንግ ይዛለው እግር
hamstring pain is not really easy and when it's very fast speed there might be some problem just a hesitation but that's he's looking forward to do that the same thing what he did before
Okay well we hope he's okay on Sunday if it does come to a sprint finish
That's right
Tim would you like another question
Yeah just one more so a Kenyan or an Ethiopian male has won London Marathon since 2002. A question for all of you here. What do you make of the rivalry between Kenya and Ethiopia, and do you like it?
So Kenya and Ethiopia have won the London Marathon since 2002. Is there a rivalry between Kenya and Ethiopia?
ለንደን ማራቶን ሲንስ በዚህ ሀገር አቆጣጠር ነው ከ2002 ዓመተ ምህረት ጀምሮ በኬንያና በኢትዮጵያኖች መካከል ነው የወንዶች ውድድር የለንደን ማራቶን የሚጨርሰው ጨራሾቹ የማሸናፊዎቹ ወይ ኬንያ ነው ወይም ኢትዮጵያዊ ነው ስለዚህ በእናንተ መካከል ያለ ፉክክር አሁንስ ይታያል ያ ነገር ምንድነው ያላችሁ እንትን ለማሸነፍ ከኬንያና በኢትዮጵያ መካከል ያለው የእናንተ ዝግጅት ምን ያህል ነው ለንደን ማራቶን አሸናፊዎቹ ከ2002 ጀምሮ ወይ ኢትዮጵያውያኖች ናቸው ወይም ደግሞ ኬንያዎች ናቸው አሁንም ያ ፉክክር ይታያል አለ ወይ በዛ ላይ በፉክክራላችሁ ወይም ደግሞ ተፎካካሪዎች ናቸው ወይ ኢትዮጵያውያን ወይም ደግሞ ኬንያውያን ተፎካካሪዎች ናቸው አሁንም ያ ፉክክር አለ ወይ በእናንተ ውስጥ ነው የሚለው
ተፎካካሪ ያው አለው ኢትዮጵያና ኬንያ ጠንካራ ሰው ነው ስለዚህ ፉክክር በሁለት ማላለው
ያንተም እንደዛ ነው ብርሃኑ ምታስበው
ብዙ ጊዜ እንደዚህ አይነቶች ከሜጀር ማራቶኖች ላይ ጠንካራ ኬንያና ኢትዮጵያ ግን በጣም ጠንካሮች ናቸው ሁለቱም ብዙ ጊዜ አሁንም ግን ይሄ ውድድሩ ላይ በጣም ጠንካራ ነው ወዳደራሉ ሁለቱም ጎበዝ አትሌቶች ነው ስለዚህ ውድድሩ በጣም ጠንካራ ነው ብዬ አስባለሁ
Yeah, it's true. The race is usually a big competition between Kenyans and Ethiopians, and we are expecting on Sunday as well the same thing will happen. And the competition it will be very hard, but still we have got the feeling that we will win.
So there's always a big competition between Ethiopia and Kenya.
Yeah.
So Dan van der Berg, can you ask the same question to Evans Chebet? Who's best, Kenya or Ethiopia?
Nataka kujua Evans, kwanza mwaka 2002 kila mwaka Ethiopia au Mkenya ameshinda London Marathon. Nataka kujua kama kuna rivalry, kama nataka kuwashinda wa Ethiopia au yeah.
Kama jambo ile naweza sema ni kwa sababu Kenya na Ethiopia ni fika kama ni major races ama local races ni watu Ethiopians ni watu wenye mwezi enda nawa mpaka ipake like 200 meters 300 meters watu wenye wako na kick dan Kenyans ni watu wa kujitolea kupika watu wenye wanakaa mbele so mimi nikiona ni ngumu sana upate pacemakers wa Ethiopians wana pace marathon mpaka 25 to 30k ngumu sana so ndio unaona Kenya kama last year Kitata aliwin this year pia mimi naomba Mungu nishinde London Marathon so ni stay nice scores race ni mzuri so naona tunapatilishana
lakini utakataa kuwa pacemaker Sunday
pacemaker bana
unasema watakusubiri watakuwa nyuma yako
nasema ni ngumu sana tunasaidiana yeah
so kawaida unajua wa Ethiopia wana kick
wapikangia watu wenye wana kaanga nyuma
yeah
then the last minute watu wana
okay so Evans is saying the rivalry is there and he knows that the Ethiopians are used to staying behind a bit and kicking in the last 200 or 300 meters so it's going to be a challenging race on Sunday and yeah he's going to need a lot of strength in the end to win the race
so he's going to need a lot of strength it's going to be a challenging race but what I'd love to see there was a smile in his Picked up and talk about the rivalry between them. So it's definitely going to be a super hot race on Sunday. So let's throw out another question to our media in the room with us.
Question for Birhanu. You are the third fastest man over the marathon distance in history, and your personal best is just 11 seconds outside a London course record. Are you confident that that's a target you can aim for on Sunday?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we love course records at London. The athletes obviously on the top table have the quality to do that. Has Birhanu got an eye on that course record, being that his best time is only 11 seconds behind that?
Okay. Birhanu, በማራቶን ሂስትሪ ሶስተኛ ነህ በፍጥነት በዓለምና ለንደን ማራቶን ኮርስ ሪከርድ ለማምጣት አንተ ያለህ ሰዓት 11 ሰከንድ ወደ ኋላ ነው ያለውና ያንን ለመስበር እቅድ አለህ ወይ?
የሰንዴ አሁንም የሁዱ የሚካሄዱ ውድድሮች አየሩ ጥሩ ከሆነና ጥሩ ጎበዝ ፔስሜከሮች ከሆኑ የቦታው ሰዓት ማሻሻል በጣም ያቀጃለሁ። በዛ ላይ ምን ተነብያለሁ። በጣም ጥሩ አየር ከሆነ ሰብራለሁ የኮርስ ሪከርዱ።
It depends from the weather on the day, and if the weather is good, I plan to break the record, and that's my target now, and I'm prepared for that, he said.
So a lot depends on the weather for Sunday. Obviously last year's weather was slightly different to the weather they experienced out in Tokyo, and we hope it's better weather on Sunday for fast times. Would there be another question from the room?
Question for all three men is, it's been a very hard time over the last 18 months for everybody, that you now get the opportunity to race in front of what we hope will be large crowds at a big Abbott World Marathon Majors race. Could each of them say what that means to them to be part of such a big race, and one where the crowds can finally come back to cheer them on?
Yeah, it's another really good question, because last year there were no crowds on the course. Obviously the Abbott World Series, the best marathons in the world, prime themselves on great crowds and great atmospheres. How excited are the athletes to be back running in front of big crowds?
ለባለፉት 18 ወራት እንደምታውቁት በኮቪድ ምክንያት ብዙ ችግሮች ነበሩና ትልልቅ ውድድሮች ብዙ ደጋፊዎች በመንገድ ላይ ድጋፋቸውን አይሰጡም ነበር። ባለፈው አመትም የሮጣችሁት ማንም ደጋፊ በሌለበትና ብዙ ሰው በማያጨበጭበት ሰዓት ነበር። አሁን ግን ወደዛ ህዝቡ እናንተን ለመደገፍ መንገድ ላይ ይመጣልና ምን ያህል ደስተኞች ናችሁ? በዛ ጉዳይ ላይ ደስ ብሏችኋል ወይ? ወደዛ መመለሳችን ትልቅ እድል ነውና እናንተ ምን አይነት ደስታ ይሰጣችኋል የሚል ነው ጥያቄው። ለሁላችሁም ነው፣ ለሁለታችሁም።
በጣም አስቸጋሪ ነው። ዓለም ላይ ብዙ ችግሮች ያመጡ የውድድሩም የኢኮኖሚም ብዙ አጥኖ ነበር አገሪቱ ላይ ዓለም ላይ። ስለዚህ አሁንም እንደዚህ ተሻሽሎ ውድድሩም ወደ ቦታ እየተመለሰ ነው። አሁን ውድድሩ ራሱ ወደ ቦታ ተመለሰ። ህዝቡ እንደዛ እኛን መደገፉ በጣም ደስ የሚል ነው። በጣም ደስ የሚል ነገር ነው። አሁን እንደዛ ብዙ እንደዛ ሞራል የተሰጠም በቃ የኛም ለውድድሩም በቃ በጣም ደስ የሚል ነገር ነው። በጣም ነው ደስ የሚል እንደዛ ሞራል መስጠቱ።
Horrible time for all over the world, including just damaging not only psychological but economical damage as well in the world. But we are pleased now. Everything is returning back to normal, and we look forward to see the cheering of the crowd on the street, and we'll be very happy. Really, that's what he said.
So Birhanu said that obviously it's been very tough for everyone over the last 18 months.
Absolutely.
He's delighted that we're back to a little bit of normality now, and there's going to be obviously the crowd, but there's also going to be 40-odd thousand runners on the streets of London as well. So it's going to be a great atmosphere in London on Sunday.
Yeah.
So Tim, would you like another question from the floor?
Final one from me and to all of you, based on that really, how much are you looking forward to being in an atmosphere where the crowd
So again, there's going to be lots of spectators on the course. How will that change the way maybe they race in terms of the emotions? Will that change the tactics with a crowd on the side of the course?
ትንሽ መሳሰል ከቅድሙ ጋር መንገድ ላይ ብዙ ሰው ቆሞ ሲያጨበጭብ ሯጭ ተሳታፊዎችም አሉ። በነገራችን ላይ ብዙ ሰዎች በ40 ምናምን ሺህ የሚቆጠሩ መንገድ ላይ ሰዎች ቆሞ ከመጀመሪያው እስከ መጨረሻው ድረስ ሲያጨበጭቡ ለውጥ ያመጣል ወይ ለእናንተ ኢሞሽናሊ ማለት በውስጣዊ ስሜታችሁን ለውጥ ያመጣላችኋል ወይ? ያ ጥሩ እንትን ነው ወይ? ምን ያህል ለውጥ ነው የሚያመጣው በእናንተ ላይ? ተጨማሪ እንትን ፍጥነት ይሰጣችኋል ወይ?
መንገድ ላይ ለኛ ብሎ እኛንን አከብሮ እንደዚህ የኛን አከብሮ ቆሞ ለኛ ሲያጨበጨብ እኛም ደግሞ ሞር የጫለ ሞር እንትን ያመጣል። በጣም በቃ ውስጥ ደስ ይላል። ከዛ በኋላ ድካም ራሱ ይጠፋል። በቃ ብዙ ስሜታዊ ውስጥ ትገባለህ። ከዛም በኋላ በቃ ጥሩ ውጤት ያመጣል። ጥሩ ትሮጣለህ። እንደ ደስ እንደሚል ነው። በጣም እንትን ለውጥ አለ። በጣም እነሱ ሞራል ሲሰጡ በጣም ደስ ነው የሚብለው።
ተራም ትሞክረዋለህ? ትጨምራለህ? አንድ አይነት ነው? ኦኬ when you see the crowd standing on the street and giving us moral, that encourages us a lot, because when people are standing for us, it makes big difference. It's our tiredness lost and our speed increases. We do speed up and we encourage it a lot, and that makes really great difference. What you said, both of them they have the same answer.
That's great. So the crowd could really play their role maybe in a course record. If they cheer loud enough, maybe the runners will run another 11 seconds faster than their personal best to break that course record.
And that's a big respect for the crowd as well. He mentioned about. He has very big respect from
thank you. I think we're able to go to our first Zoom question from one of our online media. So I'm going to ask Rick Pearson of Runners World. Are you able to put your microphone on, Rick?
Yeah. Right, sorry, I've got a couple of questions actually, but I'll start with the top one. This is for Kitata. It looks like it will be slightly chilly and rainy again on Sunday. Similar sort of conditions as when he triumphed last year. Do you think that plays to your strength? Will you be actually looking forward to sort of classic British weather on Sunday?
So there looks like the forecast at the moment, the weather to be a little bit cool and maybe a little bit of rain. Will that play a part in the race in terms of their tactics? It was obviously the same last year.
ወይዘሩን በተመለከተ አሁን ያለው ግምት ወይም ትንበያ እሁድም ልክ እንደ ባለፈው አመት ሊሆን ይችላል። በአጠቃላይ ያለው ምንድነው? ቅዝቃዜ ያለ ትንሽም ሊዘንብ ይችላል እና ያ ተጽዕኖ ሊያመጣ ይችላል ወይ በእናንተ ላይ በጣም ትልቅ ተጽዕኖ ያመጣል ወይ የሚል ነው። ቅዝቃዜ ይኖራል፣ ትንሽም ሊዘንብ ይችላል። ከባለፈው አመት ብዙም የተሻለ አይደለም ነው አሁን ባለው ትንበያ መሰረት ማለት ነው ለእሁድ ያለው እንትን
በትንሽ ሰዓቱ የኮርስ ሰዓቱን ያሻሽላሉ ብሎ እንትን ብሎ የዝናቡና ንፋሱ እንትን ከወለ ትንሽ ሰዓቱ ይዘጋያል እንጂ ሌላ ችግር አያመጣም። ግን ለሰዓቱ ጥሩ ሰዓት መሮጥና የኮርስ ሪከርድ ያሻሻሉ ካል ያን ጊዜ ትንሽ ችግር ያመጣል ብዬ ነው የሚያስብ እንጂ ሌላ ችግር አያመጣም። እሱ ሰዓቱ ላይ ትንሽ ችግር ያመጣል።
Shall I finish this one what he said now? And what Birhanu said is the weather may have impact if it has windy, but the great impact what it brings is on the time. It may not be helpful for breaking the record, but overall the race it doesn't make any difference. It doesn't affect us that much. That's
right. So we need to keep an eye on the wind reading more than the temperature maybe and the rain potentially. But let's hope it's a beautiful day on Sunday for our runners.
Let's hope
so I think we can go to Evelyn Watter of the Olympic Channel for a question I think that's going to be directed towards Evans. Evelyn, are you there?
Hello.
I think we might have lost Evelyn, so I think we're going to go to Peter Gilrad. Oh, Evelyn, sorry, are you there now?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. Thank you.
Great. I'll ask my question to Evans in Swahili and also translate it into English, and the other one is for Shura. My question for for Evans is, Eliud hayuko mwaka huu, hakimbii mwaka huu London. Unaona kama kutokuwa kwake kuna kuweka pressure kushindia Kenya mara nyingine hapo London? Eliud is not in London this year. Does that put pressure on Evans to win for Kenya another time in London? And for Shura, he was very confident going into Tokyo, but he ended up as I did not finish. Is he looking at Sunday's race as redemption? Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Kama mimi, Efanis, Chebet. Kama Eliud yuko tisia, ametupea moral sana kama Wakenya. So kama mimi na tipen Kenya, na wakilisha Kenya. Na target yangu ni kuwin Sunday, nikimbia nda 203 ama 202. So sioni kama Eliud atakayekuwa ama kama tukiyekuwa wote, kwa sababu ukiona kama Legese na Kitata ni watu wenye wako na time pia, na pia mimi niko na time na angangania nikimbie seasonal best, kimbia under 202.
Can you translate that for us, Dan?
Yeah. I'll try. It was difficult to hear. But Evans says if Elliot is watching on Sunday, I hope you can correct me if I'm wrong, that it gives him morale to run faster. But on the other hand, Legese and Kitata and himself as well, they have their times already, and the goal for Evans is just to go for a personal best for 202, maybe 203, depending on conditions. And he's looking forward to the race, and Elliot gives morale, but he's got his own intrinsic motivation as well to just win. That's the goal.
Great. I'm sure Eliud is going to be watching at home. He's a fan of the sport. I get the impression he watches everything athletics-wise. It's on TV. But no, it's great to hear that Evans and his aim's going to be on himself rather than obviously thinking too much about who might be or might not be watching at home. Can we go to a question from Peter Gillibrand?
Hello, Peter Gillibrand from LBC, Hearts Capital and all of those commercial stations. A question for all. As previously mentioned, COVID's been a very hard time for a lot of people, but you're finally going to be lining up with thousands.
So we've already talked about the crowds that are going to be on the side, but there's also going to be a mass amount of runners behind our elites. What's the message to those runners that are all going to be taking part in the marathon distance? What's their advice on race day?
ከህዝቡ መንገድ ላይ ቆሞ ከሚያጨበጭበው በተጨማሪ ደግሞ ውድድሩ ላይ የሚሳተፉ ብዙ ሯጮች አሉ እና የነሱ መሳተፍ ምንድነው ለእናንተ የሚሰጠው መልእክት? ምን ምክር ትሰጣላችሁ? እሱን በተመለከተ ለእናንተ እንትን አለው ወይ ለውጥ አለው ወይ? ኖሩም አልኖሩም እነሱ አሁን በብዛት መጥተው ነው የሚሳተፉትና የነሱ መኖር በእናንተ ላይ ምን ለውጥ ያመጣል? ምንስ ምክር ትሰጣላችሁ ነው የሚሉት?
እኛ ጋር አብሮ መሮጡ አንደኛ የውድድሩ ደማቅነት እንትን ያደርጋል። ሁለተኛ ደግሞ የኛ ጋር መሮጡ እነሱም በቃ ብዙ ልምድ ያገኛሉ። የወደፊት ውድድሮቹም በቃ ብዙ ልምድ ያገኛሉ። ወደፊትም ደግሞ ብዙ ውድድሮች ላይ እንደዚህ ከተሳተፉ ጥሩ ውጤት ያመጣሉ። ለኛም በጣም ደስ ብሎን ነው ከነሱ ጋር መሮጥም እነሱም ብዙ ልምድ ነው የሚያገኙ ከዚህ ውድድሮች ላይ። ስለዚህ በጣም ነው ደስ የሚለኛም እነሱ ጋር መሮጡ በጣም ነው ደስ ነው የሚለኝ።
አንድ አይነት ነው? Okay. It's very encouraging having people running together with us, because that will give a very that makes the event very shiny and very attractive by the public, and it makes very warm event. And not only for us, for the elite athletes, but for them as well, for the crowd runners. It will give them a lot of experience running with us. And it's encouraging. We advise them to to keep running many events like this, so that it will make them very experienced for the future.
So the advice is to those runners, keep coming back
Absolutely.
for events like London, and it's going to be a great experience running with the elite runners and the crowd and everyone involved with Sunday's race.
Absolutely, that's what it is.
Brilliant. I think we can turn to Dave Monty. Are you there, Dave?
I am. Good morning.
Morning, David.
What is the situation? What is the situation with pacemaking this year? Thank you.
Sorry, David. Can you repeat that question? Sorry.
What is the situation with pacemaking at this year's race? The race usually has quite a few groups and many pacers, but I seem to be hearing that there won't be any. Is that true? Thank you.
That's a great question, David. I think the official pacemaking duties and paces are all going to be released on Friday, so you're going to have to wait a couple more days until the official announcement. But I think we can ask a question to should we ask a question to Evans about pacing? Is he going to go with the front group, Dan?
Evans, wanataka kujua kama utaenda na grupu ya kwanza Jumapili? Ukikimbia utaenda na grupu ya kwanza?
Yeah, that's the group, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll go with the first.
Simple as that.
No doubt.
He's going with it. That's what we wanted to hear. Thank you. David, do you want to ask another question, or do you happy with that answer?
Thank you very much, and good luck to everybody.
Thanks, David, and we'll make sure you get a copy of those pacing sheets on Friday. So Tim Hutchins, Tim, are you out there, Tim?
I am, yes. Hi, James. I was just wondering, did the guys, both athletes, or all three athletes, watch Berlin on Sunday, and are they aware of the fact that the pace was, I think by most people's estimation, kind of suicidal? I think it was 60-48 at halfway. What are they able to give us any ideas of, if conditions are ideal, what would be their perfect pace for halfway?
Thanks, Tim. So on Sunday in Berlin, the first half of the race was inside 61 minutes. Did the athletes watch that race? And does that kind of shape maybe their thoughts going into the pace on Sunday?
የበርሊን ማራቶን እሁድ ዕለት ተካሂዷል፣ ባለፈው እሁድ ማለት ነው። እና ውጤቱ ከ61 ደቂቃ በታች ነበር የገቡትና አንደኛ ውድድሩን አይታችሁታል ወይ? ሁለተኛ ደግሞ ያ ምን አምጥቷል እናንተ ለማስተካከል ሩጫችሁን ወይም ለለንደን ማራቶን ዝግጅታችሁን ለመዘጋጀት ምን እንትን አምጥቶላችኋል የሚል ነው። ምን መልእክት ሰጥቷችኋል? ያ ውጤት እንደዛ በፍጥነት መሄዱ?
አዎ ውድድሩን አይቻለሁ እኔ በግሌ። ውድድሩ ግን በጣም ደስ የሚል ውድድር ነው። አንደኛ ውድድሩ በጣም አትሌቶቹ በጣም የኮቪድ ምክንያት ብዙ ከውድድር በጣም ሪቆ ነው ወደ ውድድር እየተመለሰ ያለ አሁን። በዛ ላይ ያ ውድድሩን በቃ ብዙ አትሌቶች ተፎካካሪ አትሌቶችም እዛ ላይ ብዙም የለም ማለት የሚፎካከሩ አትሌቶች ቢያንስ 1 4 5 6 ቢሆን ብዙ ጥሩ ውጤት ጥሩ ሰዓት ይሮጣሉ ነበር። በዛ ላይ ይሄም ችግር ያመጣ ኮቪድ ነው። ኮቪድ ማለት ብዙ ችግር ያመጣ ከዛ ከውድድር መራቆ ራሱ ወደ ውድድር መመለሱ ራሱ አሁን ጥሩ ነው። ስለዚህ ያ ውድድሩ አሁን በኋላ የተሻሻለ ነው የሚሄድ ብዬ ነው የሚያስብ እኔ ያ ውድድር ያያየሁት ማለት ነው።
So Birhanu has watched the race and he observed that there was no competitive runners on the race, and but this is obviously because of COVID, and now we are coming back to start running together, and elite athletes will be coming. So if there were a lot of competitive athletes, then it would have been much better than that even. But we're happy now, still starting coming. People are coming back to normal now.
So maybe if everyone was in that field, that they might have kept that pace going. But it was definitely a fast pace up front. So we doubt it will be as quick through the first half on Sunday. I think our pacemakers will be doing a little bit more of a controlled job. So thanks for that question, Tim. I think we've got Jonathan Galt out there. John, are you there?
Yes, I am. I have a question for Birhanu. How difficult was it personally for him to miss the Ethiopian Olympic trials and therefore the Olympics, and will a win on Sunday serve as redemption for him?
Sorry, John, are you able to repeat that question again?
Yeah. The question's for Birhanu. How difficult was it personally for you to miss the Ethiopian Olympic trials and therefore the Olympics? And would a win on Sunday serve as redemption for you?
Thanks, John. So, Birhanu, a question to you. Obviously, committing to those Ethiopian Olympic trials. How has he trained since then in preparation for London? Has that given him motivation?
Sorry, can you, if you repeat the second once? The first.
From the Ethiopian Olympic trials, has that given him motivation to train for London?
Okay. የኦሎምፒክ ትሪያል ውጤት ለለንደን ማራቶን እንድትዘጋጅ የበለጠ ረድቶሃል ወይ ነው ባጭሩ ጥያቄው። የኦሎምፒክ ትሪያል ላይ ተሳትፈ ነበር አይደል? ትሪያሉ ላይ
ኦሎምፒክ ላይ
ማጣሪያው ላይ
አልገባም እኔ
ማጣሪያው ላይ አልገባህም? He wasn't on the trial.
But that's the question.
Yeah.
You understand me, I'm sure. You missed the Olympic trials because of small injury. And then you didn't go to Olympics. So the question is, were you frustrated about that? Were you angry about it? And did you use the anger, if it's there, to perform now better in London Marathon? He understands it.
ከውድድሩ ባለመሄድህና ትሪያሉ ላይ ባለመግባትህ ለዚህ ውድድር ረድቶሃል ወይ ያ ነገር? ከዛ ያኔ በኢንጁሪ ምክንያት አልገባህም ነበርና ከዛ በኋላ ረዳህ ወይ ነው የሚለው ባጭሩ።
ይሄ ውድድር ላይ ይረዳሉ ነው?
የዛ ባለመሄድህ ጊዜ አግኝተህ እንድትዘጋጅ አድርጎሃል ለዚህ ውድድር?
አዎ መጀመሪያ እኔ እቅድ ያለው በፊትም ለኦሎምፒክ ነበርኩት። የባለፈው የቶኪዮ ኦሎምፒክ ነበረ። ያን ጊዜ እነሱ ለኛም ኢትዮጵያው እዛ መጣራ ስላደረጉ እኔም ያን ጊዜ ትንሽ ኢንጁሪ ላይ ነበርኩ። ለመጣራ ዝግጁ አይደለም። ከዛ እነሱ መጣራ አድርጎ እዛ ሄዶ ከዛ በቃ እኔም ለንደን ብዬ እየተዘጋጀ ነበርኩት። አሁንም የተዘጋጀው ከዛ ኢንጁሪ ተሻሽሎኝና አሁን ለውድድር ለሄን ውድድር ተዘጋጅቻለሁ። ያኛው ለዛ ነው አላመለጠም ማለት ነው።
Olympic, he was targeting for that, but because of injury he didn't do that. But after that the injury has improved a lot and much better now feeling, so that's why he's ready for the race and he's in good performance now.
Great. So Birhanu, having missed the Olympic trials, is now ready, and that training hopefully that he put in ready in preparation for that, he can really show us on Sunday how well his preparation would have gone. And he was missed at the Olympic Games, so we'd hopefully love to see him there in Paris. Mike Rowbottom.
Hi, thanks. A couple of questions. The first question is to Shura about his coach. He missed coming last year because he had a COVID positive test. Is he okay? Has he been able to come with him today to this year's event?
Shura, last year your coach was unable to make the journey to London and watch you win. Is your coach here this year, and hopefully is he better?
Shura, ያንተ አሰልጣኝ ባለፈው አመት በኮቪድ ምክንያት አልመጣምና ስታሸንፍ አላየህም ነበረ። አሁን በዚህ አመት አብሮህ መጥቷል ወይ? አሁን ተሽሎታል ወይ በደንብ? ምን ደረጃ ላይ ነው ያለው ነው የሚለው
ያው በዚህ አመት ስለ ኮቪድ ስለዚህ አይመጣም እዚህ ጋር እዛ ቀራ ኢትዮጵያ አሁን ግን ይመጣል እዚህ ነው
Okay. Yes, he was not here last year because of COVID, but this year he is here with them now. Already he has arrived, and yes, he's in a better condition now. I mean, he's a better health condition. I better say he's found now. Yeah.
So Shura's coach is going to be here, so hopefully to see you defend your title on Sunday.
That's what I'm saying.
Question out to Andy Edwards. Sorry, Mike, did you have another question, Mike?
If I may, like David, I also read that there was going to be no pacing at the London Marathon. Was that originally planned, and if so, why? Because it sounds like there will be pacemaking.
Mike, I think you'll need to repeat that question. It was cutting in and out.
Shall I repeat? Sorry. I'm still not 100% clear about the pacemaking. As David Monty pointed out, the information appeared to say that there wouldn't be any paces in the elite races, and yet it sounds as if there will be pacemakers. So can you just clarify that?
Yeah, so Mike, all the pacemaking duties and paces are going to be confirmed on Friday, so we'll get more information out to the media and everyone about that, and obviously our top table are going to know exactly, because they will have requested, and they know exactly who the paces are and the duties that will be delivered by those paces. Andy Edwards next up.
I and then shortly after Rick Pearson, we kind of combined, and we're probably there's probably more than two people on this panel who have read a very interesting book by Michael Crawley of Durham University called Out of Thin Air, where Crawley, who's Scottish international marathon runner, goes to Ethiopia and trains with them. He's good enough to do that. And what interests me, and I think if I may sort of bring together Rick's question and mine, is that is it true that the Ethiopian runners give names to different sessions? I'm not talking about what's the Amharic for fartlek, but Rick mentioned Korokonch, apologise for my pronunciation, which is running on gravelly surface. And can we hear more about that? And also Rick made the point, or asked the question, is it true that Ethiopians avoid running on concrete, run perhaps say just once a week on it, and I mean, for example, we all know that the Japanese think that concrete is the best surface of all. So it's a very interesting topic. Sorry I've gone on too long, but we'd like to hear more.
Sorry, Andy, that was cutting in and out with audio. I made some of it out in relation to running on concrete. I'm pretty sure, Dan's next to me that looks after a lot of the athletes, that, I'm pretty sure Evans is prepared on this surface, ready to run the 26.2 miles on the streets of London. If you can ask Evans, is he ready to run on concrete for the full distance? And I'm sure he has no worries about that.
Evans, wanauliza kama najua wanataka kujua kama kuna shida kukimbia kwenye tarmac kwenye njia hapa London, au ni rahisi kwa wewe, kwa sababu wamesoma kwamba ukikimbia kwenye grass au njia bila asphalt ni rahisi mno. Wanataka kujua kama kukimbia ni haina shida kabisa. So it's not a problem.
Not a problem. And I think the question also was to the Ethiopian athletes about, do a lot of their training in the forests. But is that ever an issue, transferring that onto the road surface?
ብዙ ጊዜ ልምምድ የምታደርጉት በሜዳ ላይ ነው ወይም በእንትኖች አካባቢ ነውና አሁን ለንደን ግን ሩጫው የሚደረገው በጠጣር መንገድ ማለት ያው በስሚንቶ በአስፋልት ላይ ነውና ያ የአስፋልቱ ሩጫ ለ26 ነጥብ በላይ ወይም ደግሞ 42 ኪሎ ሜትሩን
ስትሮጡ ያን ያለ ርዝመት ለችግር ያመጣል ወይ በእግራችሁ ላይ ነው። ምክንያቱም እናንተ ልምድ የምታደርጉት በሜዳ ላይ ወይም በእንትኖች አካባቢ ነው በተራራውና በሜዳ አካባቢ ስለሆነ መሬቱ ለስላሳ ነው። ከዚህኛው እንደ አስፋልቱ ጠንካራ አይደለምና በአስፋልት ላይ መሮጡ የሚያመጣባችሁ ለውጥ አለ ወይ ነው?
አመጣም አንድ ነው። ግን እኛም ውድድሩ ትሬኒንግ ውስጥ እንሰራ ብዙ እንትን ነው የምንሰራ ሜዳም አለ ዳገታም ነገሮችም ስላሉ ብዙ እንትን ውጣ ውረዶች ስላሉ ይሄ ደግሞ ይሄም ብዙም ችግር አመጣም ብዬ ነው የሚያስብ።
All because the training what they are doing on the hills and some rough surfaces that gives them a good experience to resist such type of hard surfaces, so they don't have any problem running on the same hard surface.
Great, so hopefully that answers the question that there's going to be no issues on Sunday and they're well prepared wherever they've been training and locating themselves ready for London on Sunday. So I think we can go to our last question of this morning's press conference. So that's over to you, Ian Chebet.
Hello there. I'd like to ask Shura about the reaction back home to his triumph last year. He became the man who beat the man. Was it a great national celebration? And did you? I understand that you got congratulations from the Prime Minister. Can you tell us a little bit about how life-changing this event was for you last year?
So 12 months ago, Eliud Kipchoge was obviously defeated at London. Did that bring a life-changing experience for Shura and obviously the response back in Ethiopia to that victory?
So ባለፈው አመት የዛሬ 12 ወር ማለት ነው ኤሊዩድን አሸንፈዋልና በጣም ታዋቂ ሯጭ ነበረ፣ ብዙ ዝና ያለው ልጅ ነው። እሱን በማሸነፍህ ያ በህይወትህ ላይ ለውጥ አምጥቷል ወይ? ምን ለውጥ አመጣልህ? በተለይ በኑሮ ላይ እንደገና ደግሞ አቀባበሉስ በአገር ውስጥም ሆነ በውጭ ያለው አቀባበል በሰዎች ላይ ያለው ስሜት ምን ያህል ነው? ጥሩ አቀባበል ነበረ ወይ? እንዴት ነው ያከበርከው? ነው ጥያቄው። በአጠቃላይ ደስታ ምን ያህል ነበር ለማለት ነው።
አዎ ለውጥ አለው። በጣም ደስ ይላል። እንደሱ በፊት ጠንካራ ይሆናል ነው። ስለዚህ በጣም ደስተኛ ነው።
Yeah, he's very happy about the win, and it was really it had very great meaning because Eliud was very famous runner and he was very strong runner in the world, and winning him means it means a lot for him. And it brings a lot of changes in his psychological and physical preparations and from the public attention as well.
Shura said that he's been obviously delighted with his win 12 months ago and it has changed his life. So it'll be interesting to see what 2 victories would do to change his life, and obviously beating Eliud last year. Yeah. So I think that concludes our Elite Men's press conference. So that gives us time to wish our 3 on the top table all the very best for towing the line of the Virgin Money London Marathon 2021. Thank you to our media in the room and online. Also thank you to Abby, thank you to Dan alongside me for their great translation skills. And we are back at 2 o'clock for the Elite Wheelchair press conference. So again, thank you Shura, thank you Birhanu, and thank you Evans, and good luck for Sunday.